If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
A kind of Goldilocks scenario.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. If you invest in the stock market, take a moment for this important advice.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You've got to stop listening to the fake business news networks because they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Phil Grande guides you step by step on investing.
You're going to know exactly what the tone of the market is. Do I sell? Do I not sell? Do I buy?
All you need to know is philsgang.com.
Check it out, philsgang.com, philsgang.com.
This message is for those of you asking the question, what do you think the stock market is going to do?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Well, you don't have to ask that question when you listen to my radio show because you're going to know exactly what the market's going to do. You're going to know if the market's going to go up, you're going to know if the market's going to go down, or the market's not going to go anywhere.
Phil Grande and philsgang.com takes the worry out of investing.
Pay attention to my show, philsgang.com. It's fun, entertaining, and you get the greatest information, especially stock picks.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good, we consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
We have a very strong labor market, very healthy labor market.
Strong labor market, very healthy labor market. That's all we hear. But it's not true. We don't have a strong labor market. What's this guy, nuts? Talking about nuts. Yesterday, if you recall, I said on the radio and my podcast that when the market was only up 450, I said, something's wrong. I said, we should be up at least 750. Because we've gotten to 750, 650 on almost a nothing burger. I mean, just some little thing about, inflation or whatever, some announcement. We go right 650, 750, like nothing. We had this huge announcement, right, NVIDIA. We only got to 450, less than 500. So I told everybody yesterday, and I told my clients, I said, the problem is, I said, the institutions are buying into this. They're not going to buy into this. Are you nuts? Because what most don't realize is if you take and look at the magnificent seven stocks, they're not so magnificent anymore. And they were coming down, not going up. In fact, the value of the magnificent seven stocks started to drop, and they dropped over $350 million. That's right, $350 million. So the Magnificent Seven was on the way down. And what was happening, and we made a lot of money on the Magnificent Seven stocks, because we bought those back in October 2022. We bought those after we shorted them from July 2023 to October 2023. We quickly turned around and we bought them going the other way, and they went up beautifully. So, but we also turned around and started to buy transition out of those guys because they were starting to get tired. And because remember, it was no, even though it was the 7, they weren't acting the same way as they've been, okay? And so we started to transition into value stocks. Because see, the problem is, when I say weren't acting the way they should be, the interest rates, high interest rates, are very, very difficult for tech stocks. And a lot of times you see them going up even though there's high rates because you got all these tourists coming in and buying. They don't know what they're doing. But that wasn't the case from January 1st to February 1st, or even the end of February, that these stocks were starting to roll over. As I said, they lost over $300 million in value. So by transitioning, we went to J.P. Morgan, and if you're following me on Rumble or YouTube, you can see this. J.P. Morgan, see where our buy signal is right here on our color-coded chart, where it went from red to green, and then it lines up with our secondary signal. And J.P. Morgan gave us a nice, we're still in it. We're up 22%. That's doing better than the majority of those Magnificent Seven stocks. And then we also we took a lot of money out of their stocks and went to American Express. And these we started to buy in, remember, November of 2023, American Express. And that, you can see on my chart where it turned from red, we got a buy signal, November 20th, and then we got a confirmation on that signal. And the charts you're looking at, we designed these. These are our charts. You just don't go out and get these. These are not generic charts because what it follows is the money. All I care about is the money, nothing else. Just follow the money. And American Express went up 36%. And then we had another one we did well with, Ulta. And that one was up about 15%. And Costco, that was another good one. That was up about 22%. Now, when I say they're up, I'm saying if you look on my chart here, see where the red, and you see where the buy signal is? So if you get in where the buy signal is, and remember, each buy signal, when it turns from red to green, it's confirmed. Okay, you have a backup signal. See it right below it, right there, where that crosses over? So, but the bottom line is that we saw a transition, and it was working. It was happening. And and so what we have been also saying is that, they keep telling us how the economy is doing terrific. And all they've been saying, remember, labor market, labor market, labor market. And it wasn't true. So we knew the labor market was actually in trouble. And again, what they didn't tell us, remember, under Biden, virtually all of the net job growth is coming from government hires. Government hires. Government jobs. There's nothing more negative than a government job. Because, think about it. Because a government job, okay, they're negative for our Main Street economy. Because you and I are paying, let's say a guy gets a government job and he gets 65 grand, the salary. You and I are paying for his salary. So let's say there's 25,000 of these people, which I'm pretty close. We're paying all their salaries. So that leaves less money in our economy, okay, less money in our economy for us to go out and consume. So our economic growth keeps going down because what Biden does, he wants to grow the size of government, just like Obama wanted to grow the size of government. So government jobs has been one of the biggest problems we got in this economy. And the other problem with government jobs, When you hire someone in the private sector, you're a small business, you're going to pay them $65,000 a year. Remember, that employee, it's his responsibility to create enough activity to cover his salary, his wages. And if he doesn't, boom, he's gone. He's not overhead. The problem with government, the average government employee rarely creates enough activity to cover their costs. And rarely do they ever contribute to our economic growth. That's the bad thing. They don't, because remember, they become a drag on the economy. Because remember, the majority of government workers tend to be lazy. They're not ambitious. They have few skills. Now, the ones who aren't lazy, who do have skills, they don't stay with the government. They leave. Now, the problem is, what we end up with is a bunch of lazy people with few skills, or if they have skills, they're not going to use them. And they never produce enough activity to cover their $65,000 cost. Unlike the private sector, you can't get rid of them. They stay on. And that drag on the economy keeps going on. I'm sure all of you have been to some government guy or gal and you had to get some paperwork or you wanted to get your license renewed. Isn't it awful? Isn't it awful? So they have put a big drag on this economy. So we're being lied to ever since, boy, jobs really are strong. We got the wrong kind of jobs. And that's one of the biggest problems we got. More when we get back, we're going to talk about NVIDIA.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. If you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake business news network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What does it it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang, okay? It's free for 10 days. And during those 10 days, you're going to learn a lot because you're going to be working right with us. There's nothing better when you're really being mentored. You can read all the books you want on anything. I don't care if it's soccer or whatever, but there's nothing like being mentored. And our program that we've been doing now over, 24 years, 23 years, that, it works. Because we take our portfolio, and we start out with our portfolio of 6 stocks, and we teach you on those 6 stocks. We stay right with those 6 stocks because it doesn't matter. You don't need to go find a hot stock because the idea is once you learn how to sell short, the big problem is most people don't sell short. They just buy, so they're screwed. They always have to run around finding a hot stock. In fact, Wall Street's made a scam out of it. That's why they don't want you to short. That's why they scare you to death, and they don't want you to short. Besides, they don't make money. They don't make a commission if you're shorting. They only make money if you buy a stock. But the scam really is that don't let people short. Get them to buy. Keep buying. And then they get you the next hot stock and the next hot stock. You can take 6 excellent companies and stay with them for a solid year. And as long as they're good companies, good volume, and really popular, then you'll buy them when they have relative strength. You sell them when sell them short, relative weakness. Continue to watch their volume. You don't buy unless it's got really good volume. And once you focus in on just those 6 stocks, then you can apply. Then once you learn those techniques, you can apply any stock you want. You can trade as many stocks as you want. But we get you to that point where you're really confident. You know what you're doing. And also, you're going to learn from us how the bond market tells you what the market's going to do, because the bond market tells you if rates are going to go up or down. And rates going up or down is important because that's what moves stocks, rates. I want to get back to this thing for a moment. Where was the one? Where was the clip? Yeah, here. This is this thing here on the soft landing. Go ahead and play it for me. Soft landing clip.
We quickly said, oh, the Fed orchestrated the perfect soft landing. The economy can stay strong and inflation can come down to 2%. That's never happened in the history of the world. And we're all saying, yeah, wow, these guys are geniuses and everything's great. I mean, what were the likelihood of that scenario? I mean, we need to look back.
Soft landing is historically improbable, that's for sure.
It's impossible. It only happened one time in 75 years because you got to have everything line up perfectly. The sun, the star, and the moons. They've been lying to you about a soft landing. How many times did you hear me say that on my podcast and my radio show? They've been lying. I mean, they have to, at the same time as they're raising interest rates, just enough to stop the economy from overheating. I mean, it's just impossible. It's impossible. Because to slow the economy down, they got to raise rates. We got to make sure they don't start a recession, and they got to make sure that they raise the rates just perfectly, just perfect, to stop the economy from overheating, and then experiencing high inflation, and then without causing a downturn. That's like magic. How do you do that? You can't. It's just the lie. So they've been lying about everything. It's crazy. So when you go back and take a look at when they're talking about these government jobs, this is what's destroying us. Every time Biden wants to make it look like we're growing, he hires more government people, workers. It's killing us. It's killing us because, remember, not only don't they produce enough activity to cover their own costs, let's say they get $65,000 a year, but they don't get fired. In the private sector, you get fired. What the government does is keep you on when you don't contribute. You become a big drag on the economy because they want to grow. They want to grow the economy, and they want to grow the government. So they can hire 100 people, and in 6 months they all should be fired, but they keep them on. That means you and I are paying those salaries. But here's the bad thing. We also have to pay their benefits, their pensions. Remember, a government worker, you get a pension. You and I are paying their pension. We don't even have a pension. And we're paying those dopes a pension? We got to pay their pension. And we got to, this is crazy. Now, on top of that, the timing couldn't be worse, where Biden's hiring all these government workers to make it look like he's growing the economy when he's not. And the timing couldn't be worse because at the same time, we have debt and deficit, a crisis of debt and deficits. Now, that debt and deficits has put us in a bad situation because our productivity is now the lowest in 70 years because of debt and deficits. Our manufacturing is also dropped to a 14-year low because of debt and deficits. So you got the Bidenomics where they're hiring all these people to expand the size of government, and they're hiring a ton of them because remember they're letting everybody come across the border. They're letting. Do you realize the amount of labor they need with all these people coming over from the border? So we have an inflation crisis too, debt and deficit crisis. We have an inflation crisis. We now have a regional banking crisis that's going to blow up in March. Because when March comes, you got 180 banks, regional banks sitting there ready to blow up. So, and they're claiming how wages have increased 15%. That's a lie. It's not. Wages are up. Since Biden was in office to today, wages are only up 8.2%. But let's use their 15%. Let's use it. But auto prices have increased 38%. Gasoline's 37%. Groceries 20%. Rent's 21%. And people are now spending 20% of their income on food. They've never done that before. What are you, nuts?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days. You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. what that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
We still think that inflation is going to fall and that the Fed and other central banks are going to start to cut rates.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Inflation's going up, not down. Who are these idiots? Inflation's going up, for God's sakes. I mean, anybody knows that. Go grocery shopping. Not coming down. It's awful how they lie. You know what one of the biggest problems we got is this. Then I want to go over some stocks so we run out of time. The biggest problem is this. We have the Federal Reserve. And understand how it works. The Federal Reserve, who owns that? 5 of the biggest banks in the United States. Who owns most of the shares of the 5 biggest banks? About 32 very wealthy individuals. Not the top 1%. These are the 1/100 of 1%, which is about 3,000 families in the United States. Now, that may not be exactly accurate, but not many. So what happens is, you got to understand, they're a different group of people. These people want inflation. So these people, they Biden works for them, and because remember, he needs their money. The Democrats need money. The Republicans need money, and that's where they get their money from. These guys. So, they want inflation, but they also are going to keep driving. They want low rates to create a rally. They always want rallies. Now, if rallies were going up because of productivity, of business investment, all that money they've been borrowing, and take the money supply, they increased money supply from $7 trillion to $22 trillion to push the stock market up. That's amazing, isn't it? So what these guys are doing is their whole thing is, let's push the stock market up, not by a company going out and producing something or making something. This is the biggest scam ever. Nobody gets it. Few get it. So what they do is they go out and they get all this money, print all this money, and then they take that money and all the banks, they go in to make sure they're flush with money because they buy all their crap, and then now the banks has reserves, and then they can take that money. Here's the scam. They told us, this is Saint Obama, that they're going to take this money, and don't worry that they're going to give it to the very wealthy. The CEOs of these companies, going to give it to them at zero interest, but they are going to create productivity. They're going to spend money on productivity. They're going to produce. And from production, we're going to have higher wages. And from higher wages, we're going to have savings. From savings, we're going to have our standard of living is going to go up. We're going to be consuming, and savings are going to go. You're going to consume, and you're going to start a business, and this is just going to be a wonderful thing. That was a whole bold-faced lie, just like his healthcare was a lie. So all that money went to one thing: give it to the CEOs. They buy their own shares. Their value over 14 years, the guys on Wall Street went up 113%. Main Street is left with big debt, huge household debt, huge national debt. But they don't care because the more inflation, the more money they make on their assets. So we've been scammed for 14 years. So that's why, again, when you hear them tell you, buy this stock or buy that stock, you got to make sure you're in the right stock group. So, for example, let's go to NVIDIA, these stocks. Now, the NASDAQ is negative today. It's negative. Yesterday, what a blowout, woo, but it wasn't. Because, as I said, it should have gone up 700, 800 points. It only went up like 450. So if you take a look at the stocks today, the ones that are doing best, here, I'll show you right here. Let me set them up for you, so you can. We'll do a comparison here. Let me get these here, because people have no idea what's going on. They're being bamboozled every day, being lied to every day by Wall Street. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let me get them for you here. Come on. All right. So if we line up all, let's go get, I'm trying to get the a comparison here I have set up for you. If I can find a damn thing. Let me see. Okay. All right. So if we go in and we take a look at, let's say, Microsoft, and you look at Microsoft, but you go and take a look at American Express, what a difference. So in other words, you remember that these tech stocks have been going down. Money has been going into these value stocks. And that's where the money's being made today. If I only could find the things. Let me see, I may have them down here. Because it really shows how this thing really is, things changed. Everything is going now back to value stocks. All right. Anyways, I can't find it for some reason. But anyways, so stocks that all these 7 tech stocks. Okay, if I take Apple, and I put Netflix, or I put next to Apple, I put say Target, okay, or American Express, or Costco. If I take any of these stocks, if I take Amazon, okay, and I put next to Amazon American Express, I'd much rather be in American Express than Amazon. Are you kidding? Sure, Amazon had its big day when it gapped up from February 1 up to February 6th, but it didn't go anywhere. From February 2nd, it went to a high of around on February 9th, but then it started to give it up. It went from a high of around about 175, and then it dropped, started to go down. It was breaking. It was all the way down to 165. It was continuing to go down. The only thing that saved it, these big gap up stocks, the only thing that saved them was yesterday, NVIDIA. That's what saved them. But you take Target, you take any of these stocks, they're outperforming them. But people are still going to run. They're going to still run to these stocks. Every day they're going to run to these stocks because there's such a habit where they're buying these same, and these magnificent 7 stocks aren't so magnificent. I mean, look at Microsoft, terrible. And Microsoft has given back its gain yesterday. Yeah, it gapped up, and now Microsoft is trying to gap up this morning again today, and it gave it back. So they're struggling. And so all these stocks, I don't care if it's information technology, if it's Amazon, Adobe, everything went up yesterday, but there's no follow through. See, when you have a day like yesterday and you get this one stock that goes up big, and then anybody who's short start buying their short backs, and all the other stocks look like they're going up, you got to have a 3-day follow through. You need to be up big yesterday, but today the volume needs to be bigger than yesterday. And then if you know it worked and it's going to stick, then the next day, the 3rd day, the volume has got to be bigger than the first 2 days. And that's not happening right now. It's just not happening. And all these stocks, the Magnificent Seven stocks, there's only about 2 stocks left that are decent. About 2 stocks left. So we're by Tuesday, my bet is they're going to give back all those. They're going to give back all those gains that they had on that big gap up. But that's not where the money's being made today. It's not.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
A year ago, the inflation for groceries was 11%, so just off the charts. That was, I think that was January 23. In the most recent month, grocery inflation was 1.2%, 1/10 of what it was. So a very big deceleration in grocery inflation.
What a lie. That's Jared Bernstein for the White House. He lies all the time. Listen to this.
Bacon's up 20% under President Biden. Chicken's up 23.5%. Coffee's up 30%.
And that was the other day when he was, that was the other day when he was, there was a hearing in Congress, Kennedy, and he was talking to the Treasury Secretary Yellen. And she's an idiot. She said, well, we don't need to bring rates down. Things are just fine. And you heard what he went through, how all the expenses are up on everything. And this is the first time ever that people are spending between 15 and 20% of their income on food. We never had that before. So the government's broke. It's broke. I mean, this government's printing right now and borrowing $5 billion per day. $5 billion per day. And they just, again, you got a government that's broke, and they're not going to stop inflation. They're not going to stop it because our owners don't want inflation to be stopped. Now, the trap is the White House, Biden got himself into an inflation trap. So as I said, if he decides that he's going to raise rates to fight inflation, you know what's going to happen to this economy. I mean, it's just going to collapse. I mean, when people are spending 50 and 20% of their income on food, when rent is up 21%, groceries up 20%, gasoline up 37%, go get a used car up 38%. And that's why people are filing bankruptcy. That's right. As of January 2024, the bankruptcies have increased big time. Not only just personal bankruptcies, but commercial bankruptcies and corporate bankruptcies. And as I said, soft landings, that's been a lie all along. That's a bold-faced lie. Because like I said, to have a soft landing, you need to have everything line up perfectly. Interest rates need to be rising. At the same time, inflation needs to be declining, and economic GDP growth needs to be expanding. This never happened. One time in 80 years. That's it. That's it. So the best thing to be doing right now, okay, again, is to, if you're in your stocks, I found the comparisons right here. If you're following me on YouTube or Rumble, you can see it here. Now, all these stocks we were in Tesla, Microsoft, Meta, all these Magnificent Seven, and we did very well with those. And remember, we were in those starting in October of 2022. And we caught that rally all the way up to July 2023. And then we shorted them from July 2023 back down to October 2023. Then we turned around, got out, and we went long banks and these tech stocks. But after that rally, this last rally, they're not going anywhere. Like nothing's going on in the market. And that's when something happens. So if you take JP Morgan and you take that as a value stock, put it against Tesla, why on earth would you be buying Tesla? And you got far more sellers in Tesla. You got so much overhang in Tesla, it's incredible. And then if you take Microsoft and then compare it to American Express, we're in American Express. And we're up 36% in American Express. And you can see right here where we went from red to green. Now, I'm not saying every gang member got 36%, but every gang member, they have the option. When it turns green, they get in and stay in it. As long as it's green, just stay in. And Microsoft was rolling over. We had that one gap up the other day that took every tech stock and gapped those up. And those are traps. We got more people going into those stocks now, like Microsoft. And today what they find out, They got in this morning, and now gave, like Microsoft this morning was up a high of around 415.86, and it's going to go into the closing now around 408.98, losing money. Industrial, we have an ETF, XLI. That's doing terrific. That's up about 20%. Okay, but again, if you put that against Meta, everybody be in Meta, which is crazy. Why would you be in Meta? Because Meta, you can see the same thing. After it broke away, when you have these big breakaways where you get in, it's at, let's say, 375, and it goes up to, let's say, a high of 485. Everybody gets excited. Get me in. No, and they break away like that. They used all their ammo. They have nothing left. And this stock wasn't going anywhere for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. In fact, the 10th day it started to go down, the 11th day, and the 12th day. And same thing with NVIDIA. If you go look at NVIDIA, the same thing. NVIDIA couldn't go anywhere. We started to short NVIDIA on February 16th, and it started to go down. And it went down 11% from the 16th all the way down to February 21. And then that night we had to get out, and I'm glad we did, on our short. And then they made their announcement, and that's what gapped it up. And when that gapped up, every other tech stock went up, and everybody's jumping in the tech stocks. They're going to get hammered. But if you're in these value stocks, you'll do much better in these value stocks. So again, the other ones, the banks, that's the important ones to watch too, because the banks, they like high interest rates. That's why we've been doing so well with American Express, and we've been doing so well with JP Morgan in our ETF XLF. Banks, that's where you want to be, not in these stocks, but you can't convince anybody of that. Now, we know all these stocks that we've been in, JP Morgan, American Express, about 7 of them, we've done terrific. We've done terrific with them, and we're going to stay in them, these value stocks, as long as they keep going up. And they're going to try to push the market up. We know that because, again, every election year they try to push the market up. But what we know about the market is that it is setting up for a crash. No question about it. I know I keep getting emails. You keep saying it's going to crash, but it hasn't crashed. I never said it's going to crash Wednesday at 2:15. We have prepared our gang members, our clients, to be prepared for the crash. They're set to go. If it starts crashing, boom, they'll be shorting it. But to sit there and have a mindset and not to look forward, to sit there and have a mindset, the market will never come down again. When you got the 10 leading economic indicators that are all down, they've been down for 20 months in a row, and you're saying there's not going to be a crash? Our GDP, employment, industrial, consumer spending, home sales, building, construction, all down. And I told you the lie on the soft landing was one of the biggest lies ever. That can't happen. And then we got to remember when the First Republic Bank went down and Signature Bank went down, there's 180 more banks behind them that they're going to have to record losses of $650 billion in March. So we got a real problem facing us with the headwinds with the regional banks. They're collapsing. But, but nobody will listen. They just want to keep buying the same stock. They're just going to keep buying NVIDIA until it doesn't work anymore. NVIDIA. Everybody's going to be buying NVIDIA between now and one morning they wake up and the thing dropped 40%. And those stocks like NVIDIA right now, those are so dangerous because you're buying them retail. And that's when you get dangerous. When people start buying a stock retail. And that's when all of a sudden one day they wake up and they're losing a lot of money, losing a load of money. So again, remember, we still are facing, remember, the biggest scams that gave us all this inflation, QE. We're still living through that inflation. Obamacare, one of the biggest inflationary deals ever. What a scam that was. And now Bidenomics. Are you kidding me? that the American COVID Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act, all inflation. No, this market, okay, is not going to keep going up. But in the meantime, the stocks that are going up will be in them and be ready for the crash. Join our gang, Phil's gang.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.